The more wounded you are, the more likely you are in lack mindset about something. So this reading is not for people who don't want to do the consistent healing. This is not for people that don't want to seek like therapy or some type of clinical avenue. I understand as Black people, many of us are scared with that, and many of our parents are not going to therapy and all that type of thing. But if you are not willing to go through the necessary process to recover yourself, you're not willing to deal with what your father did, what your mama did, what your grandma did, your auntie did, if you are continuously suppressing the DV, the SA, this is not for you. This is for folks that are willing and open to do the necessary healing work. We don't care about being uncomfortable. It may look like it's going to look right now, but we know once we get to that point, it's going to flip. You're going to be right where you need to be, and you're willing to go through the cycle of healing, right? To get to your best outcome, whatever your best outcome is, to get to a state of overflow. This is for people who are looking for overflow. And folks that are looking for overflow are consistently in their healing process. They're not looking for it, they're arriving to it. You are arriving to overflow because you have done the consistent healing work. You have put yourself in uncomfortable places to get to where you need to be. You have taken so many risks, right? You have taken so many risks, right? So the more wounded you are, the more you're in lack about something, and you all have intentionally eradicated lack from your being, from your mindset, right? Even if you still experience some form of debris, you know for the most part that it's an illusion, that is not even real, so you know better than to give into it, right? You have perfected what it means to be in the world and not of it. Again, this is for people who have been and are willing to be consistently healed, to look in the mirror and see themselves and not be afraid of their shadows, but to be like, hey girl, how you doing? What's up? What is it that you still holding on to? Why are you still here? Let's talk. Sit down, bitch. Let's have some tea. Okay? Okay. So this video is about the justice that you are owed. And justice work is not a quick fix. And I believe that you all are okay with that because your capacity has changed, because you are arriving to overflow. Hello, my name is Amina Sapphire Turner. I just changed my name. That's why I had to be like Amina Sapphire Turner, the War Saint. I was not raised in the church. I was raised in my grandmother's living room. Her living room was my sanctuary. Her lap was my altar. I am an intercessor and both a prophet. I am in the Hoodoo tradition. And what I specialize in is road opening work. Right? So, and I also do justice work, which is why I'm doing these videos, right? So again, a good book that many of you all need to read is what is it? Black People in Salvation by Bell Hooks. I think that's the title, Black People in Salvation by Bell Hooks. So I have 4 cards. Let's get 3 more. Okay, so you have the wisdom, right? You have wisdom. Your wisdom is in part, right? The 8, 10, and Queen of Spades. You have the wisdom. You have the insight, the creativity, the discernment. Your discernment is up. Your creativity is up. Many of you all need to cultivate an idea bank, right? So you can stay aligned and in tune and organized with the ideas. You also need to journal more so about the parts of you, right? The different parts of you and how they all connect, why they connect, right? They may not all take the same shape or all have the same form, but they connect in one piece or another. You need to understand the pieces of you. With the 2 and 7 of clubs, the two of clubs is inverse, right? So many of you all are not accepting this power or this victory. You're not accepting this power or this victory. Many of you all are still in illusion, and you want to get to this state of emotional well-being and emotional balance, but the 8 of Hearts is inverse as well. So why is the 2 of Clubs inverse and the 8 of Hearts inverse? So the 5 of Clubs, the Queen of Clubs, and the 2 of Hearts. So this is giving resistance. This is giving resistance. You all are y'all are afraid of yourself. Y'all scared of the damn dark. Y'all are afraid of yourself, honey. You are afraid of your power. You are afraid of your power. You are afraid of your power. In the Eight of Hearts, yes, it deals with your overall emotional wellness, but this is in alignment with embodiment. You all are afraid of your power. Why are you there's too many cards. Why are you afraid of your power? Why? My first thought when I saw these cards is that something got you crossed up. You're afraid of your power. You have all these ideas, all these, you don't know the pieces of you. You don't know the pieces of you. Many of you all can relate to my story. You just been in survival mode for so long. You don't understand how well you have transmuted, how well you have alchemized. This is why I say you need to understand the pieces of you. And the pieces of you are not going to be on the surface, honey. They're not going to be on the surface. They're going to be deep down within. You are going to have to go to your dark place. You are going to have to, not a dark place. Like, I don't mean nothing evil when I say that, right? So you really need to work on your mindset if that was the first thing that came to mind. So when I say a dark place, I'm talking about deep in your shadows. You're going to have to go deep in your shadows and be honest with you. There's something that you need to retrieve. You need to retrieve the child that was harmed. You need to retrieve the child's voice. You need to retrieve the child's ideas. You need to retrieve the child's boldness, the audacity. There's so much about in your childhood that you need to retrieve. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you're afraid of your power, because of the sacred rage that you have locked within, and you don't know how to communicate it. You don't know how to exemplify it in a way where it is safe, right? Because the masculine in you is still wounded, and the feminine in you doesn't trust the masculine within you. That's why you're crossed up. That is why you're crossed up. Yeah, you could thank your parents for that. That is why you're crossed up. You're intimidated. You are intimidated. You intimidate you, but you don't know that you're intimidated by yourself. It was the treatment that you received it was a lack of protection. It was a lack of protection from your father figure, the emotional and financial manipulation, more so the emotional manipulation from your father. It was your mother's inability to communicate her emotions because nobody mothered her and she did not mother you. It was also the fact, wait a minute, let me make sure I'm not projecting my own shit. It was a lack of protection from your daddy, the emotional manipulation from your daddy, your mama inability to communicate her emotions, and your mama's dissatisfaction with her own life. And looking at you, she knows that you are gifted. And because of her childhood, she cannot operate in the gifts that she has the way she wants to. So she resents you for it when you're not even the problem. That's why you don't want to fuck with her. That's why you don't want to be around her. I lived that, so I know. But I just had to double check. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't projecting my own shit, make sure I was still hearing. Yeah. So in order for your justice to come through, your roads need to be open. Your roads need to be open in order for the justice to come through. And with this road opening does not mean that justice is going to flood down your roads, right? So when we set something in the spiritual, when we command something in the spiritual, it's done. But then in order for it to be tangible, made manifest in the natural, the way that it comes to us is via the roads that we have available to us. And some of these roads need to be cleansed, right? So many of you all need to grieve. Now, when we talk about justice, we're talking about the scales coming into balance. But the first scales that need to come into balance is within you first, so that you can be in proper position to receive your justice and therefore develop the capacity to hold it. And developing the capacity to hold your justice, to me, implies that you're not going to have guilt when it comes around. You're not going to be leaking energy trying to save and take care of everybody else when it comes around. You're like, no, this is mine, right? This is why having a practice, that's why regulating your nervous system now needs to be a practice, so that when this comes, you're more responsive to it than reactive, because reactive is going to make you leak the energy. So you're sustained now, but there's not going to be no emotional, mental, spiritual, financial movement until your roads are open. And the first thing that needs to happen with that is that the scales need to come into balance within you first, because the first person that you owe justice to is yourself. You owe it to yourself to reclaim that child, that inner child, so that you can be liberated, right? So that you can be free, so that you can actually have the life that you want. And if you're hearing this, and I know who I'm talking to, you believe that this is possible, because it's not the first time you are hearing this. It may be coming in a different manner. New things may be revealed to you, but you know that you are destined for greatness, and you know that you are not mediocre. You could book a road opening consultation with me. The link is in my bio.